Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy comes out with a brand new video. Before you get into the video, hit that sub button, like the video, and comment down below your thoughts on this video. Let's get to 1,340 subscribers. Let's see if that's possible. And let's get to 10 likes on this video. Is that possible? Can we get to 10 likes on this video? And without further ado, let's get into the video. But before we do that, comment down below. Do you guys think that day one of the playoffs was probably one of the best day ones in recent NBA history? Let me know in the comment section below, and without further ado, let's get into the video. So today we're talking about day one of the playoffs and why I think it was phenomenal and why I think it was one of the best, and the stories, the narratives that came out of day one have been incredible. I'm gonna talk about the series that I watched the most, that I was heavily interested in, and then I'll talk about the series towards the end of the video that I didn't really watch as much, and that I don't have much to say about, or I think that it's gonna be a quick, easy sweep for the other team, one of the teams. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So we're gonna talk about the New York Knicks versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, Game 1, first. So I just made a video on why I think that this series is going to be the best series in the first round of the playoffs, and boy was I right. Oh my god. Game 1 for the New York Knicks versus the Cleveland Cavaliers was phenomenal. It was a back and forth game where at one point the New York Knicks had a 12-point lead, and they weren't even playing that well. Julius Randle, after not playing for 17 days in a row and was basically questionable until game time, until 5 p.m., Julius Randle was questionable. He came out and he was torching the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think he had like 12 points in the first 15 minutes, something crazy like that. 12 points or 14 points in the first 12 minutes. I don't know. It was crazy. But you definitely see the rust that Julius Randle had as the game progressed. He finished the game with 7 for 20, and he was, he didn't shoot the ball as efficiently. But what he did in the first quarter and the clutch rebound that he got when it was 4 seconds left in the game, Julius Randle deserves MVP to an extent, because there was another man on the New York Knicks that was, that did a lot for the New York Knicks, and it was Josh Hart. Josh Hart played phenomenal. He had 17 points and 10 rebounds. He had a clutch three-point shot with a step-back three. Oh, my God. He was playing phenomenal. He is one of those guys that played the most consecutive NBA games without making the playoffs, which is so crazy to think about, because Josh Hart is made for playoffs. His play style is exactly what you need for an elite role player to come in the playoffs. Do the dirty work, grab the rebounds, kick it out, make the right plays, attack the basket when you have to. Josh Hart was doing it on both ends, defending the best offensive opponent on the opposite team. Bro, it was just phenomenal to watch. Now, you can't forget that man on the Cleveland Cavaliers, that man Donovan Mitchell, Don Spider. You can't mess with him. He's unguardable, unstoppable. Donovan Mitchell was going crazy. There was just no match. The New York Knicks had no match to stop Donovan Mitchell. They threw everything at Donovan Mitchell, and Donovan Mitchell was still lighting everybody up. Shooting deep threes, hitting clutch back shots, sidestep threes, step back mid-range shots, driving to the paint, getting fouls. He was doing everything. He was the guy. He was the main engine for the Cleveland Cavaliers, which, is good and all. You need that. But the Cleveland Cavaliers have a big weakness, and we see it game 1. We see it very well game 1, that Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Jarrett Allen are going to have to play 40-plus minutes every game in this series to possibly win a game. It is going to be a tough series for the Cleveland Cavaliers, as they have no depth. Ricky Rubio, that man cannot play for you if you're in the playoffs. That man is not it. Dean Wade playing 7 minutes of being minus 14 team plus minus does not help you either. Not getting much from your bench, 4 for 16 from the field off your bench, that is not going to win you games. The Cleveland Cavaliers starters, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen, are going to have to play huge minutes. You saw that the New York Knicks were exploiting Isaac Okoro. He's a great defender and all, but he cannot shoot that ball. 1 for 6, 0 for 5 from the 3-point line. He just didn't make any shots, and the New York Knicks were leaving Isaac Okoro open. There's a lot of things going to go on, and Isaac Okoro is going to have to knock those shots down if the Cleveland Cavaliers have any chance of winning the game. So, yeah, guys, this was a very intense first game, first matchup, and now let's get into the next one. So we're going to talk about the Warriors versus Kings. Now, this was also a game that I expected to be fun. Now, I'm going to be honest. I completely thought that the Warriors were going to win in 4. I have the Warriors making it to the finals, and I have them winning the championship. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I have them winning the championship. Curry's going to get his 5th ring or 4th ring. I think it's 5th, 4th. I don't know. But I think that the Warriors, came out and played aggressive. Andrew Wiggins' first game back since February, I believe, or March, whatever it may be. But, first game back, he came off the bench. I think he was on a minutes restriction, if I'm remembering correctly. I think he was on the minutes restriction, and, he played well. He played very, very well. He's hitting threes. He was defending the best player. He was guarding De'Aaron Fox. He was guarding Sabonis. He was doing a lot on the court. You're gonna get a lot from Stephen Curry. You're gonna get a lot from Klay Thompson. Jordan Poole was very well as well, played very well. But this game goes to De'Aaron Fox. The amount of clutch shots, the amount of 3-pointers, bro. His game has developed so beautifully. There was a time where you would leave De'Aaron Fox open and dare him to shoot that 3-ball. Now you cannot do that, and it's so amazing. You open up his game so much more. You can leave him open in the mid-range shot. You didn't really have to contend it as much. But now you cannot leave that man. You have to go over on the screens. You have to guard him, and it's beautiful. Sabonis had a bad game, but even then, he still had a double-double. He played very well. He was making the right plays. He was attacking the rim, and, it just led to easy buckets. Keegan Murray, Kevin Huerter. Kevin Huerter was getting exposed. I'm not gonna lie. His defense, the Warriors were definitely attacking Kevin Huerter and making him, work and play defense. And it led to some easy Warriors points. But the Warriors versus Kings game came down to the last shot, the last couple of minutes. So this is another series that I think is going to be phenomenal. The next series we're going to talk about is the Brooklyn Nets versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, this was a pretty interesting series because, I wanted to see how Mikal Bridges, as a number 1 guy and the number 1 offensive guy, and teams, guarding him as a number 1 offensive guy, how he was going to deal with it. And what I can say is Mikal Bridges is a superstar. The man is a superstar. He is the ace in the hole. He is the guy that, if he was still on the Phoenix Suns, he is the ace in the hole. He is the guy that would have brought them to the playoffs. Now, Booker is amazing and all. Chris Paul is nice and stuff. But, what Mikal Bridges does and did for the Phoenix Suns was just incredible. His defense, his shot creating, his 3-point ability, just very well, very good player. And, to see the adjustment and to see how his game has grown from what it was on the Suns to what it is on the Brooklyn Nets in a matter of half a season is incredible. The ability to shot create from all 3 levels to get to the rim, elite 3-point shooter, elite mid-range shooter. He has a very KD-like game. Now, obviously, he's not KD, guys. Let's get it real. But he has that, fast twitch, methodical game that KD has. He has a game where he can pull up and shoot it over you because he's also like 6'8", 6'9", 6'10". He's a tall guy, and he has long arms, long wingspan, so he can shoot over a lot of guys. It's just so interesting to see Mikal Bridges play. And, the Brooklyn Nets have been playing very well. But the defensive scheme that they had didn't work out for this game. Their defensive scheme was to let, Joel Embiid get the ball, but make him pass it out to the best 3-point shooting ability, the best 3-point shooting team in the league, and allow the other players to beat them. And, the best shooting team in the league won because everybody around them can shoot the threes. Joel Embiid is still going to get his no matter what. You can't guard a superstar. You can only hold him down to a certain points. But, Joel Embiid is a very great player. He has the defensive IQ. He has a playmaking IQ. He kicks it out to the right players, the right plays. And, the better team won. I just don't think that the Brooklyn Nets have enough firepower, enough defensive, players to keep up with the 76ers shooting ability. They might win a game, but I don't think it's going to go past 5 or 6. I don't. I think that the 76ers are going to win in 4. I really think it's going to be a sweep. But just that Mikal Bridges has turned into a superstar, and they got young players like Cam Johnson, Cameron Thomas, Spencer Dinwiddie. Obviously not young, but they got these young building pieces, and they got a lot of draft picks from the the KD trade, the Kyrie trades and stuff. I think that they're gonna be a good fun team for the next couple of years. And, that's basically what I have to say for this. Now let's get into the last and final series of the day. The last and final series of the day was the Atlanta Hawks versus the Boston Celtics. Now, this wasn't the final series of the day, but this is the last series I'm going to talk about of the video because, it was a series that I wasn't really too interested in because we all know the Celtics are one of the teams to beat. It's Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics. And the Atlanta Hawks barely made it out of the play-in, barely made it to the playoffs. And I just don't really have that much, hopes in the Atlanta Hawks. And, just watching the Atlanta Hawks, they have a lot of holes. They have a lot of questions. Their bench is good, but it's not great. The pairing of Trae Young and DeJounte Murray is not the best. Trae, you need the ball in his hands. You need him to be able to make the plays for others. DeJounte Murray also needs the ball in his hands. And those are questions we already knew that the Atlanta Hawks had. Both of them need the ball in their hands. And the pieces surrounding them, just don't fit that play style for both of them to have the ball. They need elite three-point shooters. They need elite defenders for, Trae Young because he's a defensive liability. Although he has gotten better, and I got to give him credit. But if we're looking at just this game in general, the Boston Celtics put a defensive masterclass on the Atlanta Hawks. They were switching 1 to 5. Everybody was rotating over. It was just defensive masterclass is all I can say for this game. The Boston Celtics made sure to stomp out the Atlanta Hawks. They won by 13, but it felt like they won by more. It was 99 to 112, but it felt like it was way more. Because just how the way that they were holding Trae Young, they were, making him pass the ball, give it up, and the shots that they made Trae Young take, it just doesn't seem like the series is going to go farther than 4. And I really think that the Atlanta Hawks need to blow it up. Now, I know they just traded for DeJounte Murray. I just think that they need to blow it up. I think that team is not going to win if Trae Young is the head of the snake. I just don't think a Trae Young, centric offense is going to get 4. I think Trae Young is a very good third option, second option on some teams. I just don't think he'll be the main guy on your team. Now, they did have that, that run in 2021 where, he got to Eastern Conference Finals. But a lot of things had to go right. It was the bubble as well. It was, the C word, the Rona 19. It just made things complicated. I just think that the Atlanta Hawks need to blow it up. On the other hand, for the Boston Celtics, this was, you already knew that the Boston Celtics were the better team, and they came out and they showed it. There's not much to say about it. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are stars. They're going to get theirs no matter what you do. Marcus Smart didn't have the best game, but he's still going to give you defensive effort. But the guy I'm most surprised with is Derek White. His offensive game and how he's been able to impact the Boston Celtics has been so phenomenal from the regular season even to the first game of the playoffs. 24 points, 5 rebounds. The guy he just fits the Boston Celtics so well. And, that was an amazing pickup for the Boston Celtics. And I think his value is going to show a lot more during the playoffs as the, series go on. Because I think the Boston Celtics are getting to Eastern Conference Finals. And I think, I'll discuss later what I think is going to happen in the Eastern Conference Finals. But yeah, guys, let me know how you guys feel about this. How do you guys feel about first day 1 of the playoffs? Do you guys like it? Did you guys enjoy it? What series did you guys like the most? What series did you guys find boring? And who do you think is going to win the championship? Who do you think is going to get to Eastern Conference Finals? And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, YouTube.